There's always so much controversy surrounding Logan Paul, and it's rightfully so. He's always doing things that people deem deplorable, things that getting into scam type behavior. I mean, his origins was just being like the class clown, but at an extreme level, doing anything for attention, you know, and it's no wonder that things are kind of cycling around again, like people talking about the forest incident. And Jidion is one of the guys that's been spearheading it because he just recently got into some beef with him. I don't know all the ins and outs about the beef. To be honest, I really don't care all about that much. But the only reason I was even motivated to speak about this at all is because I am somewhat involved because of a video that's kind of blowing up right now. There's a video blowing up of, it's a compilation explaining the theories and why people believe Logan Paul faked the forest incident. You know, a lot of people, when you first hear that, they're so like shocked or like, what? That's crazy. Why would he do something like that? And I feel like it just comes down to nobody really thinking about it other than just believing that Logan Paul is awful enough to do something like film a body and whatnot, which, I mean, yeah, I get that. I get when you see the type of stuff that he's done all throughout the years, you probably be like, yeah, this guy's probably awful enough to do something that stupid. But when it comes down to it, it doesn't really truly add up. And how I'm involved is in that video. There is a part of one of my videos talking about the theories where I have a side channel called Black Chad that I don't use anymore, unfortunately, because YouTube is just screwing with me, where they demonetize my channel and then I would appeal and they would reinstate it and demonetize. It has happened 3 times in a row since I think January of 2022 or 21. I can't remember. Probably 22. It's been happening over and over and I just gave up. I don't care anymore. I've asked them, hey, you guys keep approving me and then taking me off again. What are you doing? What is this? I was thinking a human would intervene and would reinstate me, and then the algorithm, a bot, would just reject me, would just demonetize me again. And I'm tired of that song and dance because that was going to be a channel that I did want to use a lot moving forward. But whatever. So a few years ago, I put a video. This is when I was experimenting wearing a Miles Morales Spider-Man mask. And so I just made my theory video. And so it made it in this cut that Jidion he watched, and other people are watching it, and it's gaining some steam. I think as of right now, it's just under 10,000 views, but it'll probably be a lot more because I guess there's still a lot of people that don't know about this stuff. I think there's still a lot of people that for reasons that like YouTube has been suppressing videos that are talking about these theories. I guess there was a guy named Pie Man that was gaining some steam, and then his videos were getting suppressed, and I made my video before Pie Man, and mine just didn't really get much steam, but I'm also kind of glad, so it was just able to just stay up there, I guess. But the thing is, I think when people actually listen to these theories, when they listen to Occam's Razor, if you know Occam's Razor, it's just like the most simple scenario is the most likely one. The more that there's extra stuff involved, the more things seem impossible, like the less likely the scenario is, right? So when you think about why Logan Paul would fake something like that, it's very simple. And in my video, I talked about one of the biggest things. There's a lot of things, right? Like there's no police reports, there's no evidence of the family or the victim's name, no journalists, because journalists, I always say journalists are relentless. They want to get the scoop, so they're going to fly out to Japan. Local journalists are going to try to find out who the family is, who the victim is. They're going to try to get a comment. Either the family will comment or the family will decline, but it will be mentioned in the articles. Nothing like that exists. I mean, since I did my research back then, nothing existed at all. I'm assuming nothing does now because still I haven't seen anything or anybody talk about anything like that. But there's just no paper trail. There's no evidence of anything. And then the other thing is, it's just really the intent, because this is what people were really confused about. Like, why would he do something like this? Well, I say it's simple. It comes down to intent versus ignorance. And I broke it down in my video like this to be as clear cut as possible. If you were to hit somebody with their car and you unalive them and you go to court, well, there's only two ways to see it. You did it on accident, which could just be a manslaughter charge, or you did it on purpose and now you have a murder charge. So it's like ignorance versus intent. So same thing with that video. You go into this forest and you plant a dummy and you do this reaction and all this stuff. You put it in the thumbnail, which seems like a prank that he's done a million times, but it backfires so badly that they're like, what's the best way to move forward with this? Plead ignorance. Oh, I just lapse of judgment. I didn't think about this. I'm so insensitive. I'm so sorry. So now everybody's just like, what a dummy. What an idiot. What a fool. I can't believe how stupid this guy is. But of course, versus he intentionally staged this whole thing, which makes him seem like a monster instead of just being a dummy. Where it's like, I can't believe this guy made a mockery of this. I can't believe he did all this and staged this and all this and tried to make it look like it was real. Like, this is crazy. What a sociopath, which I believe he is. With all the evidence gathered, with all the stuff that he's been involved in, even the crypto scams and everything, I believe he's definitely a sociopath. But I'm just saying, it is way easier to get over being stupid, being ignorant, being a fool, than to being a malicious, sociopathic monster. And so they took that route where it's like the lesser of two evils. And to me, it's as simple as that. That, like, how people are like, I don't, why would he do, I'm like, why would anybody plead ignorance? Why would anybody, even if they actually did intentionally try to off somebody, when they get up with their lawyer, the lawyer's like, is there a possible way we can make this look like I didn't do this on purpose? That's exactly what people do. They try to be like, I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident or whatever, even though it wasn't. You know, and I think it's pretty clear cut with all the lack of evidence, with the prank nature of stuff that he does. I mean, there's a prank where he pretended to be murdered in front of his audience. With a thumbnail, he's laying down all bleeding and stuff. Like, this is par for the course of what he does. So why would you think this situation is any different? It's exactly the same. He just went way too far with it. Because before, in the other prank, it had to do with himself. So even though it's still awful, people largely just forgot about it and were like, whatever, what a dummy. What a stupid idiot to do something like that to your fans. Could scar them. Probably did scar some of them, but whatever. He doesn't care. It's all about the views. Versus taking somebody, it's now about somebody else and propping up this person, right, that took their own life or whatever. Even though that didn't happen, but the scenario is so much worse and they didn't think about that. And it sucks when you have a posse of people and none of them were just like, bruh, we can't do this. There's no way we can do this. There's no way we can do this. And it's majorly backfired. The vibes. And there's plenty of people behind the scenes, like, say, Jidion even talks about talking to Keemstar. He talks to Keemstar, and Keemstar is the one that's like, and Keemstar has the scoop on a lot of stuff. He does. And Keemstar knows that it ain't real. And then he goes through the scenarios, and it's one of those things that Jidion, now that he's beefing with Logan, he's blowing this whole thing up again. And I've always been like, yeah, it is weird that he just got away with this so easily. And it does seem like YouTube is kind of helping him out because he was the poster boy. He had YouTube shows and all this stuff going on. So it seems like they made it their mission to make sure he was rehabilitated as good as possible. There were people saying that they have never seen such a boost in recommendation and everything when Logan Paul came back. I didn't really pay attention to that stuff, but I can just kind of take their word for it because it all kind of lines up. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, there is a conspiracy to protect Logan Paul, and most people kind of, it went over their heads, and I would say for the two reasons. One of them, because they believe that he could do something like that, and number two, they don't care about him that much at the end of the day. Logan Paul has a lot of fans, he's famous and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, he kind of does just blend into the background. You know, like he he kind of at the end of the day seems somewhat unassuming, because even when you hear about, oh, he scammed all these people with that crypto zoo or whatever, you're just like, yeah, what a evil piece of trash, and then you kind of just forget about him because he's that type of person. He seems like a fake villain, right? Like he's like one of those people that you just don't really want to waste too much energy hating him, and I feel like that's kind of to his advantage. You know, unlike, say, his brother Jake Paul, who there's something about him that he does stick around in your mind just a little bit, and he kind of does put more of a sour taste in your mouth, even though I think Logan has done more egregious things overall, but I mean, Jake has done his fair share, man. Like, I can't believe that dude, he got his assistant to say, hey, this YouTuber that owns this gaming company, FaZe or whatever, FaZe Banks beat me up in a club or whatever, and then here's the bruises and all this, and it didn't happen. They did the whole makeup. They got a fake cop. Logan Paul was actually involved in this too. They did this whole thing. It was this whole conspiracy, and that just went away. Everybody forgot about it, and I was like, that's something that you should not be able to come back from. To make a mockery of domestic violence or just assault or anything like that, especially against women, and it just got washed away. I'm sure FaZe Banks got a large payout, but it was one of those things where I was like, this is crazy. It just shows you what you can get away with when you have some money. When you got some money, son, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And most likely you will get away with it. It is very hard. You have to be doing stupid thing after stupid thing with people begging you to please stop. You're gonna get caught. Please stop it. Right? I feel like there's somebody that we can think of right now. Somebody that is screwed up so many times that it was just they were like, we want to look past some of the things, but we can't. But I digress. I'm just saying, when you do too much dumb stuff, right? People beg you to please stop, then that's when you get caught, right? And so you fly too close to the sun, man. And right now I feel like that's where Logan Paul is kind of. A lot of his stuff that kind of went unchecked is kind of the chickens are coming on the roost. And I don't know if anything will come of any of this stuff. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. I don't even know if maybe it's been too long for people to really care. But it would make me happy if it was at the forefront that people were like, yeah, this dude definitely faked that Forest incident. And if people just knew, and people just had that sour taste in their mouth always. That would be nice at the very least. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. Do me a favor and hit the like button on the way out. And if there's anything else you want me to talk about, leave it in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.